Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to week 4 of virtual learning teleschool at Bethune Elementary School. I hope you guys had an amazing spring break. I sure did myself. I enjoyed having that time off, and I hope you all did as well. If you are following along correctly and going through these Nearpods on time with us, today is April 13th, 2020, and we are focusing on the following. This is standard ELA GSE 4 RL2, summarizing literary text. Our goal this week is to summarize a story or drama by restating in one's own words the most important events in the order they happen. So a lot of key parts there in that standard. We know that our goal is to learn what it means to summarize, but we're going to be summarizing two different things, stories and dramas, and they then tell us how we're going to do it. We're going to do it by restating in our own words the most important events in the order that they happen. So it has to be in our own words, just the important events, and we're going to do it in chronological order, in the order that they happen. The second thing we're working on is distinguishing between important and unimportant details when summarizing a story or a drama. So that's our focus today as we get into lesson 11, summarizing literary text. If you are following along, you've downloaded our Nearpod, opened it up, and we are focusing on this standard of summarizing literary text. So we're going to do this week by reading through some different stories. The first one you guys are going to see is called A Jacket in the Boot, and I'm going to help us go through that and give an example of how we summarize. Then on Tuesday, you guys are going to read a story called The Mix-Up, and finish out on Wednesday in our packet with the story called The Blind Men and the Elephant. So we have a lot of great things to get into, but before we can start, we have to first get our minds thinking about what is the standard. Do I already know something about this standard? And tapping into that mind frame. So our goal in this lesson is going to be to read some tales that are of confusion, and they will be exploring how to summarize the stories that we're reading. So that's your goal. I want you to first think about, how would you describe to a friend what happened in the last episode of your very favorite TV show, or in the latest chapter of a book that you're currently reading? I want you to take the time to really think about that. Think about your favorite show. And if your friend asks you, hey, what is it about? How would you respond? To my knowledge, I don't think that your friend would be expecting you to tell them every single detail that was said or that happened in the show or in the book, because that would take entirely too long. And honestly, they could just go read the book or watch the show themselves. They're looking for a shorter version about the important things that happened in the story. And it's usually told best if you tell it in the correct order. So that's what we're going to be focusing on this week. We're going to be summarizing literary text. When we read literary text, it's very helpful to stop during and after reading in order to summarize what we've read so far. We do this by asking ourselves who, what, when, where, why, and how about the story, because it's going to help us to identify those key details or those very important events that took place throughout our story. Using this is a good way to check if you truly understood the story. If you really did comprehend it, you would be able to give a great summary that only highlights those important details. So we hear a lot of words being repeated today. These are going to be our academic talk vocabulary words, and you will see them on the screen right now, bold. It says that we're going to be identifying the most important events and details in a story or play, because that's going to help us to summarize and better understand what we read. When you summarize, so we see that that's our first keyword, a literary text, you briefly retell story details and events in your own words. They keep saying in your own words. I feel like that's going to be very important when we start writing these summaries. A good summary includes only important story details. It tells about the main characters and setting. It also describes the plot. We've talked about plot a lot in class. So immediately your brain should be lighting up saying, I know what a plot is. The plot is the beginning, middle, and end of the story. It's how you build up a story as you go along. So the plot, or the story events, including the problem the characters face and its solution. So we see that we have highlighted summarize, plot, problem, and solution. You all should feel very comfortable with these terms. They should be more of a review to us. It says read the story below and think about which details to use to summarize it in 2 or 3 sentences. So that's a key thing right there. A summary should always be shorter than the original content. So it should be shorter than a movie or an episode of a show. If you are reading through a book, your summary should be shorter than it. So we see that this is only 2 paragraphs. They're asking us to summarize it in 2 or 3 sentences. This story is called A Jacket in the Boot. Please follow along on your Nearpod or in your printed out packet as I read. When we visited my parents' friends in England, their son James and I became fast friends. One afternoon, he and I decided to go to the park. It was cool outside, so James was looking for his jacket. Then he said, "Oh, I think I left it in the boot." I looked at him puzzled. Why would he leave his jacket in a boot? James started laughing. Then he told me that in England, the trunk of a car is a boot. We had taken a drive in the countryside earlier. Because it had been warmer then, he had left his jacket in the trunk instead of wearing it. So we just read that story. We learned a little bit about how English people talk in the different dialects that they use. If you go ahead to the next page in the Nearpod, or if you flip over in your packet, we are now on page 162. It wants us to think. It wants us to really break down and process this. It says to summarize the story. Think about the details that were important to understanding it. Complete the story map below to identify important story details. Then write the summary. So what we see below is a graphic organizer. This organizer specifically is known as a story map. So it puts our story in order. It maps it out, or it lays out those key important details. So we said earlier that when we are summarizing, we are figuring out the who, what, when, where, why, and how. That is the same as saying we are figuring out the characters, our who. We are figuring out what they did or what they went through, which can be our problem in those different events. When and where are our setting. Why did these things happen? That can go along with the problem or the solution. And then how. So all of those key details, all those who, what, when, where, why, and how, in order for you to answer them, you have to think about who are the characters, what is the setting, what problem do these characters experience? What other big events happen in the story? And then what is the solution to that problem? So we are going to take the story that we just read, A Jacket in the Boot, and we're going to break this down into each of these different parts on the story map. The first part we see is already filled in for us. It says characters. Our characters are an American boy and James, who is an English boy. Where they are from is very important because, as we know, the setting can impact the way that someone talks. So because James is from England and then our main character, this American boy, is not from England, their definition of what a boot is are 2 different things. So they had to come to an understanding. So we have our characters, and the characters also helped us to figure out our setting. I would write in that box that the setting is England on a cool afternoon. I want you guys to take some time and think about what could the problem in this story be? What was the problem? What was the issue that the characters ran into? I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to think about that. You are correct if you said that the problem is that the English boy uses a word that confuses the American boy. Yes, there is also the problem that it's getting a little bit cooler and James is looking for his jacket, and we find out that solution. But the bigger problem of it all is that they don't understand the same word. They are confused in their language. So then we have the events. This is where our summary really starts to unfold, where we tell our story in our own words in the order that they happen. We know that an event is anything that occurs throughout the story or anything that happens throughout the story. So let's start at the very beginning. Let's start at the very beginning. I put down as one of my points in this section of the story map that an event that occurred was an American boy visits England and becomes friends with James, an English boy. So that's a huge event that happens at the very beginning of our story, because our story would be different if he never came over to England or if they never became friends. So we have to include that in our summary, because if we didn't have it in our story would be different. The next one that I wrote down was that they want to go to the park. So this was the second point that I listed in that box that says events, or if I was on my Nearpod, I could type this out and say that they want to go to the park. Another big event that I put was that James looks for his jacket and then says that he left it in the boot. I know that I have to include that word boot somewhere in this summary. I know that because it stands out. It's the reason that they have a problem, and it's a part of the title of the story. So I have to include that as one of the major events that takes place. And then the very last point that I put in this section was that the American boy is puzzled about what James means. So the American boy hears James say the word boot, and he goes, well, why would you leave a jacket in a boot? That's confusing. So he's puzzled by it. The very last part is the solution. So where it says solution, I wrote that in order for James and for the English boy to solve their problem, James has to explain that in England, a boot is the trunk of a car. A boot is the trunk of a car. So from there, we now have our next section where we actually have to put in the work to write our own summary. In this section, we want to make sure that we are writing incomplete sentences, sentences that have swag, that start with capital letters, that are written neatly, that have a given punctuation and a space in between each word. So we want those sentences with swag, but we also want to make sure that these 2 to 3 sentences that we're about to write tell us the who, what, when, where, why, and how of our story. And we're going to write it in our own words while telling it in the order that it happened. So I want you to practice this yourself by pulling up your text box on your Nearpod and typing on the line where it says summary. But I'm going to read to you the summary that I wrote on my paper. I put that an English boy named James and his American friend decide to go to the park, because that's the order that it happened. That was our first event that we wrote about. James says that he left his jacket in the boot. The American boy is confused and asks what James means. James then explains that in England, a boot is the trunk of a car. So that is my summary, my 2 to 3 sentence summary, where I told all of the key events in the order that they happened in my own words while telling who, what, when, where, why, and how of the story. So I want you guys to try this yourself and finish out the rest of this page. So by the end of today, you should have completed page 162, 163, as well as your I Ready reading lesson. If you have any questions, Ms. Felix and I will be going live today around 10 a.m. or I'm sorry, around 11 a.m. So this should be Monday, April 13th, and we will be going live at 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. to go over this lesson. If not, you can always hit both of us up on Class Dojo. And once again, just a reminder, this was lesson number 11, Summarizing Literary Text. I look forward to seeing you all on tomorrow's lesson. Have a good one, guys.